And that 3-0 win today over Hungary means that Portugal are top of Group F. But he is, Gary, such a special player. He proved it once again today.
Yeah, it's an obscene record. I mean, 106 goals for his country is absolutely ridiculous and just continues to beat individual record after individual record. Said before the game that players, when they give interviews, quite often refer to the team. He does refer to the team always, but he also wants to be the best player in the world and seen as one of the greatest of all time in terms of scoring more goals than anyone, and he'll go and do it.
I love the fact he's just so aware of every record. He just chases it. He will keep going until he breaks every record that's possible to break. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. And, you know, he's 3 off the all-time Portuguese record that Ali Dai has. So, you know, he's probably going to break that as well. But we said at half-time, you know, once Portugal score one, I think it will be, you know, out of sight, and that's what's happened.
You wouldn't really put it past him actually making the World Cup as well in Qatar. I mean, many people are saying, you know, he's 36 years old. We don't know if he's going to be coming to the end of his career, but he looks like he could still go on for a few years.
You got to give credit where credit is due. People always like to talk about his age and what he's doing for his domestic clubs. But as long as he's in this form and he can be so important for his club and his country, why let him retire from professional football and just even consider him not even being there next year in the World Cup? I mean, the man is a machine. You know, he's relentless. You know, he's always hungry for goals. And even though when you don't really see him throughout the game, he's always a potential threat. And he waited long for his 2 goals today. But I mean, he's just a machine. And kudos to him. Great achievement. He's only 3 off the all-time record of 109 goals by Ali Dai. And trust me, it's just a matter of time when he's gonna break it.
I mean, his physical shape is absolutely incredible. I mean, he's adapted from being someone who sprinted, you know, from the left wing or the right wing. Now he's not doing as much running in games. He's not as explosive, but he's just basically he's a poacher. He's a centre forward, as you would think. You know, traditionally think of him as a centre forward, but he actually is now just a striker, brilliant goal scorer, and like I said, there's no words left for him, really.
Absolutely. Well, he scored a brace today, but should there have been a penalty for the first goal?
I think for me, striker's bias a little bit here, but I think it's a penalty. I think the defender, Orban, I think it is, you know, just that little touch on the back foot there on Rafa. I think it's a penalty. It stops him shooting. Yeah, I think it's a penalty, and there's no chance Ronaldo's missing that.
No chance at all. I mean, such a confident finish, as you would expect from Ronaldo. And then there was another goal scored, another penalty. Gary?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is the 3rd goal that Cristiano scores now, and, you know, touch on the offside, but those little movements, little 1-2s, awareness in the final third, and like you say, once he scores his first goal, then he just goes and kills the game off. He's ruthless. So he doesn't let up at any point in the game. He's desperate, so desperate to score goals and make the very best out of every single minute of every single game.
And he was desperate to make an impact in the opening game. You could see it. He always is, and that's exactly what he did today.
No, of course. I mean, what I said before, they left it late, you know. I mean, also credit to Hungary just to frustrating Portugal today in the system, how they played it, you know, in the way how they set up against Portugal. But Cristiano's Cristiano, and what I said, you know, he's always a potential threat. You don't see him the whole game, especially what you just mentioned, Gary. You know, he's not the wide winger that we've seen before in his early years. He's now more of a central forward, just waiting for his moments and around the box. And I mean, you have to give it to the man. He's just a machine, and you know, he's Portugal's talisman, and you could see why. 2 goals again today, and looking for their record.
Absolutely. Well, it did take them 84 minutes to break down Hungary, though, didn't it?
I said at half-time that Portugal fans shouldn't panic, but there was a little bit of a panic on, in the sense that they just took so long, and you thought they have to win this game. Credit to the left-back. Sometimes it comes from an unlikely source. We talked about Cristiano, but Guerrero, he's out on the left wing, but then he makes his run inside. You could argue he shouldn't be there, but he is there. He's taken a risk. And to be fair, I have to say that, you know, when you're looking at breaking down a team that's got 10 behind the ball, it sometimes means that one of the players in a position that's like a left-back or a right-back, a centre-half, they have to make a run or do something that's off the cuff. And that's what Guerrero's done. He's won them the game, Guerrero. And we'll talk about Ronaldo tonight, the records. But the left-back for Portugal has, I think, done it for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Euro winner 5 years ago, and this was his 3rd international goal. But it could have been very different because there was a disallowed goal as well.
It was a disallowed goal, yeah. I mean, we were up for a surprise, and even though it was disallowed, we all thought it was a goal, so we could see an upset. But yeah, it was a disallowed goal. It was a pity, but It is what it is. I mean, it was offside. It was, even though it was an offside goal and a disallowed goal, it was even a mistake by the goalkeeper. You know, I mean, I think that's the golden rule. We've seen it yesterday with Poland, with Szczelny, also getting beat by the first post. You can't be punished by the first post, you know, as a goalkeeper. That's the golden rule as a goalkeeper. So, yeah, it was ruled out, but could be a totally different game. But, you know, that's football. It could go both ends. And their ruling of that goal is a good fortune for Portugal at the other end. And they managed to win the game and scored a lucky goal as well.
Yeah. Nigel, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, Portugal being clearly the better team. If you look at the first 45 minutes, Hungary is trying everything possible just to not concede a goal. They had the chances. You could see, you know, especially in a system like that, in a 5-3-2 system, having an opponent like that is really hard to break that deadlock. And what Portugal did well, creating these chances, exploiting the spaces behind them, sometimes with an overlap at the sides, and sometimes with a long ball behind the defense. And that's how they were creating spaces, chances. And unfortunately for them, you know, they didn't create it, they didn't concede it, score the goal. So it's just waiting for that moment that they can score a goal. And I think when they score a goal, this game could easily be 2-0, 3-0 for Portugal.
Well, we've seen a lot of chances that fell to Portugal, and Jota with some really good chances in this first half.
Yeah, a lot of the first half seemed to revolve around him. Nigel's just mentioned the chances they created, and you know, they should be up. They've just not been clinical with that final moment. And Jota, Ronaldo are the people who you would want these chances to fall to if you were Portugal. So you can't say they've gone to the wrong people. This one, the question is whether he should square it to Ronaldo. I think if you're cool, you're composed, you probably do pass it to him. He's such a brilliant finisher. But he's in a really good position himself, Jota. And you could argue that the defender's blocking out the path a little bit to give him a little bit of grace, maybe. But he still should finish anyway. He's made it easy for the goalkeeper. Jota, I think this is a really good chance. His touch lets him down. Ordinarily, there, Jota would just, you know, take that in towards goal, and he's just right foot into that far corner. And then this is the one where he's nearest to goal. A question mark over whether Fernandes was in a better position. I've got some sympathy for him there. I don't think Fernandes would have shouted to him, wouldn't have had a chance to react. But they've had brilliant chances. They
have, and I mean, Hungary have also managed to nullify the threat of Cristiano Ronaldo as well. I mean, he also had a few chances, but failed to convert them.
Well, a lot of the chances have actually come from really direct play, you know, from the long balls, from the likes of Pepe, with dynamic movement from the likes of Ronaldo and Jota. The chance that one of the chances Ronaldo had came from this one. You see this great movement. How many times have we seen this sort of movement from Ronaldo? First time volley, he hits it well, catches it well.
Just offside, though.
Just offside. But Portugal have got in a lot through that direct play. This is a big chance for Ronaldo. You expect him to finish this one. Great dummy here from Jota. And I think he just catches it. It just doesn't quite come through the ball. He catches it at its highest point. But, you know, Portugal should be up. They've had a lot of chances. And as Gary said, it's fallen to the people you'd expect them to score.
I guess we didn't expect Hungary to do anything different, though, did we? They are going to frustrate the teams that they come up against, especially in this group when they've got France, Germany, and Portugal. That's the way they're going to do it.
Yeah, of course, but that's the way forward for Hungary. You know, they know, especially in playing in this group, they will be the weakest team. So the only thing they can do is just sit deep, wait for the right moment to counter, and just frustrate the teams that are better in ball position. And we see that also today with Portugal. They're sitting deep most of the times with 10 players back, 11 players back on and off, and waiting for that moment that Portugal slip up and then go for the counter. They tried to do it a couple of times. It didn't come out very well. So, yeah, Portugal just have to find a way to score the first goal, because I think if they score the first goal, that's Hungary done. That's them out of the picture, and then they can cruise to an easy win, 2 or 3-0. But I said, you have to score a goal in order to try to win this game.